Welcome to another episode of King's World. All right, so I've been neglecting a lot of your questions because we've been having fun. You know, last week we did the craziest things that I did during prep, and then the week before that we did something else fun. Okay, so we did all the fun stuff. Now I think it's time to get back to your questions because it's been stacking up. There's a whole bunch of them in the pile that I got to get to. So this week, what we're going to do is get to the questions of the fans, and here we go. Okay, question number one. Question number one comes from Joey Gambler. How much cardio should one do in the off season? Good question, Joey. I can only tell you what I do and what I recommend to all my clients. Okay, so in the off season, I always say when you finish working out, always do 20 to 25 minutes of cardio. Now, what kind of cardio? Depends on what you want to do. Some people like the step mill, some people like the bike, some people like the treadmill. Now, the step mill hits more quads, the treadmill more hams and glutes, and the bike is for people who have lower back issues or after leg day. So, 20 to 25 minutes after you finish working out in the off season, and the intensity should be somewhere around 70 to about 72%. Slight incline on the treadmill. Medium pace walk, squeeze your hams and glutes. Step mill, again, a nice pace, nothing too fast, nothing too slow. If you want to kick your legs back for your glutes and hams, again, good. And the bike, same thing. Level 3, level 4, something like that, 20 to 25 minutes, just to keep yourself in relatively good shape and the blood flowing. Off-season cardio. Question number 2 comes from MFP. What's the most impressive strength feat you've ever seen in the gym? Okay, MFP. Good question. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I was at Ric Flair's Gold's Gym with my cousin, Pasha. Pasha, what's up? Peace, miss you. And we were just there, you know, working out, hanging out, doing our thing. And guess who walked in? Animal and Hawk, the Road Warriors. So now today you guys might not know who the Road Warriors are, but back then they were the biggest thing, the baddest thing, the most impressive thing in wrestling. It's just multiple world champions, just the crazy. I mean, Road Warriors. You can't get any better than that. So they walked in, and I was kind of starstruck and freaking out, but I would never bother anybody, let them do their thing. And I saw with my own eyes Animal, because it was Animal and Hawk. Those were the two Road Warriors. I saw Animal curling 225 for reps. Folks, that is insane. Now, when I say for reps, I'm not even talking about like swinging motion. He was doing 225 pounds like this. I mean, almost like what I would do 135, but I would still struggle with the 135s if I want to use strict form. I really think Animal could have gone to about 275 if he wanted to. I mean, that's just crazy. One of the most impressive strength feats I've ever seen in my life. Animal, Road Warriors. Crazy. Question number 3 comes from Tammy Tay 11. Question is, what's the worst injury you've ever sustained in the gym? And how long did it take for you to recover? Okay, Tammy. Worst injury. Well, first of all, I have to say that I've been blessed. I've never really been injured that bad. I've had some minor injuries, and later in my career, yeah, I got some little tweaks here and there. But the worst injury I ever sustained was, believe it or not, a hamstring injury. And I remember this like it was yesterday. It was at Olympus Gym. And if you don't know Olympus Gym, let's say on a Tuesday or a Wednesday night at my gym, Olympus Gym in Seven Corners, Virginia, you would have at least 10 top professional bodybuilders in there at one time. And I was just a kid watching this. I mean, Vince Taylor, Kevin Levrone, Jennifer Greenbaum, Pat Pooh, Stan Long, the list goes on and on. And these guys and these women will be in there. And it was, I'm telling you, it was the East Coast version of Gold's Gym Venice. Just crazy. And I remember I was training at that time and with Willie Stalling, another great professional, United States NPC national champion. And we were doing stiff-legged deadlifts. And I remember I was on the 3rd set, 5th rep. And I went down, and I was going down, and I heard and I felt a poof. And everyone stopped what they were doing and looked back. And I remember Willie said, "What the f was that?" I mean, it was such a loud pop. It was my hamstring popping. I mean, it just exploded. And I remember I just stood there and I dropped it, and there was really no pain. And you don't feel the pain initially. You're in shock. And I just looked back at him and I'm like, please tell me it's not bad, please tell me. And he really couldn't see anything. And then I basically just went and I started to walk, and as the seconds were going by, I felt my leg tighten up, tighten up, and tighten up, and tighten up. Anyway, long story short, I tore my hamstring, and it was black and blue, but being that I was, what, 23 years old, 24 years old, I used to recover like the Wolverine. And it took me, honestly, it took me about a month. And I was back again and training, and then within 2 months, I was back to hardcore 100% again. Thank God, I healed quickly. That was the scariest and the worst injury that I received, that I got in my bodybuilding career. That damn hamstring tear. Crazy. Question number 4 comes from Ace in the Hole. Question is, if you could pick just one exercise over all the others, what would it be? Well, Ace, this is an easy one. This one's easy. I'm sure you guys can all guess too. The squat. That's it. No ifs, ands, or buts. It's the squat. Because when you're starting out, when you need that strong, and I use this a lot, and I always say the same thing, base. You need a strong base. Build your strong base, and then you can build on top of it. It's like a building. You need to build the foundation, and then you can build a strong building on top. The squat. Start out, form. Get your form correct. As the form gets to improve, your weights are going to go higher and higher. Now, technique is excellent. Technique has to be excellent, but when it comes, there's a huge difference between weightlifting and bodybuilding. I know you guys have heard me say that before. Weightlifting is just how can you get the weight down and up. Bodybuilding is get the weight down and up, but feel it and grow. You need the pump. That's where you have to get that differentiation. You need to get that mind-muscle connection. Squat. Heavy ass squats. Squats don't just build legs. Squat builds the entire body. Your back, your biceps, your triceps, your calves, your hamstrings. Everything is activated when you do heavy ass squats. So there's your answer. If there was one exercise you can do, you should do, or you could do, it would be the squat. Question number 5 comes from Damon-000. Nice name. List the top 3 coolest bodybuilders you've ever met. Man, Damon, this one's easy. This one's easy and this one's fun. I'm not going to list them as the coolest and the third coolest. No, I'm just going to list the 3. Okay. Number 1, Mr. Victor Martinez. You just gotta, I mean, if you don't know Victor, you have to hang out with him just for a day. Everyone and anyone who's ever met Victor Martinez has fallen in love with him. He's fun, he's funny, he's sharp, and he's Victor. It's hard to explain. He's Victor. And one of the stories I've said in the past, and I'll say it again, is, you know, again, listen, I have things that I could say, stories that I have that I could say that I would never say, because I have respect for these guys and I don't want to mess their image up or anything like that, because we've all done stupid, crazy things in our lives. But what I can say about Victor is 2 things. 1, Victor used to wear his posing trunks low, like low on his hips. And it threw his symmetry off, because he has such beautiful body, his shape, Victor has that beautiful shape. So I used to be like, Victor, why do you wear your, pull him up? He goes, nah, bro. I'm like, why? He goes, nah, it looks cooler when it's down. So that's Victor. He would sacrifice a little bit of aesthetics for looking cool because he thought his trunk should be a little bit lower. I think that's Victor Martinez, man. Another thing about Victor, when I first moved to New York, another great Victor story is, if you guys don't know, New York has a lot of transvestites. You know, I have nothing against them. As a matter of fact, I know a couple of them, and they're cool with me, and I'm cool with them. But some of them are sketchy. And some of these trannies used to like to go to the clubs and hook up with guys, but they would never tell them that they were trannies. And these trannies in New York are so pretty, you can't tell. It's impossible to tell they're men. Victor is the tranny killer. He has tranny-dar. He knows every tranny because Victor was the king of New York. He was the king of the Bronx. Victor was just Victor, man. He knew everybody in New York. So when I first moved up here, we would go clubbing, and Victor would stand next to me and be like, nah, that's a dude. Nah, that's a dude. Nah, King, you don't want to go there, man. That's a dude. Victor saved me many, many times from making a mistake, going in the wrong direction. Victor, thank you so much for pointing them all out. On my list, Victor Martinez, one of the coolest ever. Second on my list, Mr. Chris Cormier. Chris, another guy, impossible not to like this guy. I don't know anybody who doesn't like Chris Cormier. Chris he's got a good heart. He's a fun-loving guy. He's a prankster. You know, he's backstage. He's never, ever confrontational. He doesn't take anything seriously. He goes with the wave. If the wave comes, he goes with it. Cormier, again, a ton of stories with him. So much fun in Vegas. So much fun in Canada. So much fun in Australia. I mean, just the things that we've seen and we've done together. Some of the Vegas stories, like I said, maybe in a book one day, maybe in an anonymous book, and I'll use an anonymous name or something. I'll tell the stories of Vegas. But Chris, man, just one of the coolest cats there is. Chris Cormier, love you. Third person on my list, everybody knows, he's one of my closest friends. He's one of my best friends, Mr. Robbie Lopez. Robbie Lopez is and still will be and was then and will always be one of the best bodybuilders to ever come out of New York, New Jersey. He lost the NPC USAs to Johnny Jackson by 1 point. 1 point. As a matter of fact, Lopez was winning after prejudging by 1 point. He was beating Johnny, but he came back and Johnny beat him by 1 point at the finals. Robbie, he's my brother in iron. He's my brother from another mother. He's just the coolest cat there is. If you ever come to New York or New Jersey, wherever you go, Robbie is the place. He knows where to go, where to eat, where to hang out, where the hot spots are, and all the good stuff. Another guy with a golden heart. Another guy who would give his shirt off his back if you're cold, and just the coolest cat there is. Him and I have been through hell and back together. He knows what I'm talking about. He saved me a couple of times, and as a matter of fact, right now he's saving me again. Love you, man. Love you so much, Robbie, Cormier, Victor, the three coolest cats I've ever met in bodybuilding. Okay, last question comes from Beverly Bev 2. Beverly asks, what's the strongest fat burner stack? Okay, strongest fat burner stack. Now, what I'm going to do here is there's a few different ways I could take this. We could go the RX route, or we could go the natural route. I don't want to go to RX route because, again, that's just because I've seen too many stupid people out there. You know, in the Middle East, they were taking veterinary grade clenbuterol injections. I mean, just the dumbest things you could possibly do. And you wonder why they're dying of massive heart attacks, because they're taking injectable clen that was meant for horses. I mean, I've seen some stupid ass stuff before, but that was one of the dumbest I've seen. So let's go to natural route, but again, very, very effective. What I use on my clients that gets them that crispy, dry look. Number one, it's an actual injection. It's called CJC 1295, and I like to use it with the DAC, so you only have to take it twice a week. CJC, incredible fat burner. On top of, I'm going to go old school with you guys now, aspirin, caffeine, ephedrine, and green tea. That combination right there might sound like what you've read in the ingredients of a lot of the fat burners nowadays. No. What you want to do is you want to go get these things individually at their purest form. When you take these things individually at their purest forms together, there is no fat burner on earth that can come close to it. It just does the job. It burns the fat. It gives you exactly what you're looking for. Those are the ones. CJC 1295 with DAC, aspirin, caffeine, ephedrine, green tea. You can't beat that stack for fat burning. Okay, here we go. Those are your questions. Keep sending them right down here. You got your comments. Leave your comments. Leave your questions down here. This is my email. If you want to contact me for coaching, for questions, or whatever you have, come to me. I'm there for you guys. I love you guys. You know that. This is going to be a great year coming up, 2020. Lots of changes in King's life, lots of changes and lots of surprises coming. And GI is about to make an announcement very soon with something very big that involves the King. Keep your eyes open. Be safe out there. Trust no one but yourselves. And as always, peace, bitches.